Gonna be hanging out at Universal Studios for a little bit. Check up on park updates because there's always something going on here. Oh wow, it's about midday and look at the line to get into the park. It is going to be busy. Alrighty, made it through that line. Actually didn't take too long, so that wasn't that bad. And before I forget, hello everyone, welcome back to another Theme Park Obsession video. My name is Dylan, and yeah, today we're hanging out at Universal Studios Hollywood. So, how about you and I dive right in? But now that we're in the park, let's head to our first destination. That is the Parisian Courtyard to check up on the Halloween Horror Nights construction. Okay, I've made my way over to the Parisian Courtyard and there's some construction going on. I'm not gonna show the gentleman's face because there's some active construction crews right now working on the facade. So if you see a bunch of cuts in the next few clips, that's why. But lots of really good progress today on the Parisian Courtyard Haunted House. Yeah, this is really cool. You can see at the very tippity top of the facade, some textured panels have appeared, and I'm sure those will be painted over time. I don't know if those are the final colors, but hey, you never know. And then also the brickwork, that is new. Last week it was just plain plywood, but now there's a little bit more detail, and it looks to be a little bit of texture, which is cool. Now, one thing that is throwing me off a little bit with this facade is the color scheme, and it's kind of giving me like Mummy, classic Universal Monsters, like Egyptian vibes. So I don't know, maybe it's a classic Universal Monsters haunted house. Again, this one has not been announced by the company. It's all still a mystery. The possibility of it being a crypt and something maybe in a cemetery is still there as well, just like I have been guessing. But again, with the color scheme, very, very interesting. This kind of changes the story ever so slightly, and it gets me even more excited to see what the finished product is going to look like. And like I've been saying in the previous Universal Studios Hollywood updates, when it comes to Halloween Horror Nights, I'm so happy that we have some really cool facades this year. It's shaping up to be another incredible year for facades. Moving on to Fast and the Furious, there's some new track that has been installed up there, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. What I do want to talk about on this side of the project is this massive footer. This thing is huge. You can see some of the crew members standing on top of it. You could probably fit 10 to 12 people on that thing. That footer is massive. So whatever coaster column is gonna go right there, or whatever element is gonna show up in that spot, might be pretty insane. But you know what, let's move on to the Simpsons Land where we can get a better view of that newly installed track, which might be for the station, the load and unload area, because that's where it looks like there's a big straightaway on either side, and then it kind of meets up through the transfer track to then go through the rest of the course. So yeah, let's walk around the corner to check that out. So it's looking like the station area is complete as far as track work is concerned. And like I was saying in my last video, the amount of drive tire motors that we're seeing for this roller coaster is so darn cool. Remember, these coaster trains are probably going to be heavy depending on the seat configuration. They do have onboard audio. This has all been confirmed by Universal. So I'm thinking these are going to be very large, just like maybe Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at Epcot. So that's probably why we have so many motors on these pieces of track, so they have enough power to propel the train. OMG, look at this. What the heck? Is that going to be for a massive footer? This section right here, holy guacamole, that just came out of nowhere. Wow, that's pretty crazy. If that ends up being like one big massive concrete section, I mean, I was already tripping out over these because they're extremely large, so I can only imagine what this one's gonna look like. And yeah, for those wondering, really no big changes right here. This has been looking the same the past few days because they've just kind of completed this section. But yep, looks like they're moving on to the next piece over there. Tons of activity on this side. You can see the concrete has been poured for these footers, and it's been curing. Again, massive. This is huge, huge. It's really hard to tell on camera, but when you're here standing in person, it's something else. And also, panning up towards the retaining wall, crews are spraying that concrete layer on top. So this might be at the finish line, which is great because then they'll take the scaffolding down and they'll move on to the next parts of the coaster. You can see above the retaining wall, they've also installed some more pieces of track right there that are gonna be going off into a mystery section. Again, not sure if it's going to be the maintenance barn or what. I'm still trying to figure out the layout of the top there. I mean, the two straightaway sections are clearly the station area, but yeah, where's the launch going to be? You know, I wonder if this thing's going to have like a swing launch to it. That would be pretty interesting because there's really not that much room from where it steps off of the station to the first element, which will be right over here. So maybe this thing will have a swing launch and there'll be like a secondary element back there on the upper deck. I mean, I guess we're gonna be finding out here in the next few months. I've made my way down to the lower lot, and look at this, Panda Express is back open from its lengthy refurbishment. This is a complete top to bottom refurb, and yeah, I think they did a pretty good job. And I'm also down in the lower lot because Super Nintendo World has something new in it. And the new addition to Super Nintendo World is an all new interactive game, and it's located up here in the Frosted Glacier area. Yeah, remember they were doing all that construction up here? Well, this is what they were building. I think it's pretty cool, and the big takeaway from it is it adds value to the land even more so. So, you know, they didn't have to do anything in that spot. They could have left it how it was with just a power up block and that was it. But no, they added a game there, which I appreciate. I appreciate that they're going in there and going, you know, what can we add to this to make it even more fun, especially for those that have power-up bands, and adding a game that not only has one thing going on for it, but 4 different games built in is pretty cool. Yeah, the game that I played was very similar to the Thwomp Panel Panic that's downstairs, and it was a lot of fun, definitely a cardio workout, and I'm wondering what the key challenge will be eventually, because right now it's just a sticker challenge. Maybe later on down the road they'll change it to a key challenge, but the other games that I noticed involved fire flowers or freezing different Goombas, and then Koopa Troopas were in there as well. So again, the fact that they added multiple versions so you can come back again and again and again is pretty neat. And as I'm making my way back upstairs to the upper lot, I checked up on the Halloween Horror Nights haunted house behind Revenge of the Mummy, and really not too much going on down here, at least this week. So we'll have to check up next week to see if any more details pop up. And again, for those of you that are not aware, they do have new lockers outside of Forbidden Journey. They are free, but there are some paid options as well. Now, just as a reminder, we have some Halloween Horror Nights merchandise showing up here in Hollywood. We have the Quiet Place shirt, and we also have the Where Horror Lives shirt. And then we have, I think, one more. Nope, that's it. So we just have the Quiet Place shirt, and then this one, and then we also have some hats. I love the skulls. Those are pretty cool. Well, you know, I think that's going to do it for today's video from Universal Studios Hollywood. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can let me know by smashing the thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel and you love these updates from Universal or some of your other favorite theme parks, consider subscribing, because I have brand new videos every single week that you won't want to miss out on. Be sure to check out my Instagram account by following that link down below in the description. And if you want to help out the channel even more, you can do so by hitting the super thanks button. But until the next video, I hope you have a beautiful day, morning, evening, whatever it is. I'll see you next time in the parks. Bye.